Le Grand Magal de Touba édition 2024, événement à vivre sur Mouridiyyah TV et sur l'ensemble de nos plateformes digitales. Pour ne rien manquer, restez scotchés sur Mouridiyyah TV, Canal 13 sur la TNT, 226 sur Canal+, et sur Eutelsat W16A. Mouridiyyah TV, à la découverte de l'univers Touba.
أول ما ابتدأ به الخديم تعلق بمن له التقديم وأظهر الخدمة عام جيش وقلبه أجملها من عطش منطلقا في جيش من غيره رب الورى قديمه في خير وأدخل الإله في قلوبنا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي سدد لساني نور جناني صفي أماني وزد براهي barke borom Touba. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Almighty, in the name of Al-Malik, the King, the true King, the King of mankind, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness Muhammad is his final prophet and messenger. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the longest and healthiest life to our commander-in-chief, the Khalif Cheikh AhmadouBamba. It's an honor to be again on Mouridiyyah. Today we are welcoming you to Touba. Welcome to the Holy Land. Welcome to Touba and to the Safar, the month that we have been waiting since. We've been waiting for long, and I'm so honored to have among us my brothers and Jordan, Mr. Mahmoud. I think it's your first time to be on a show with me on Mouridiyyah.
Yes.
I think, okay. And Mr. Abdullah Wad, our president, the journalist, it's also your first time to be with me on the show. Not on Mouridiyyah, but on a show with me. It's my honor and privilege to have you. Mr. Musa, so I don't think we need to introduce you to our viewers because it's your, I think, 6th time or 7th time to be on a show. Thank you very much again for your everyday availability and for your time. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. The Murid community and the Muslim community are celebrating today, this year, 100 years after Cheikh AhmadouBamba returned to Touba. And we are so happy to celebrate this imposing event with the Muslim community around the world. And today we are here to talk about a very important topic in the life and the journey of Cheikh AhmadouBamba, which is the exile to Gabon. Myself and my brothers and Jordan here, we are going to discuss and share points related to the exile, the different stages, the spiritual stages in the Pacte of exile. Before we begin the show, let me give the floor to our greatest Jordan from Connecticut, Mr. Mahmoud. Welcome to the show.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. It's an honor to be here with my brothers, Seydou Musa, Abdullah, to be talking about the great work of Cheikh AhmadouBamba in the exile. And this year being a very significant year because it's the 100th year, the centennial year that we celebrate the coming to Touba of Cheikh AhmadouBamba after he passed away and was brought here by Sheikh Mustafa. So we are celebrating that, and this is something that should fire us up to be more dedicated to the work of Cheikh al-Khadim, and also to be following the right path as much as we can, and then to double our effort into following the path that he traced for us to follow.
MashaAllah. Thank you very much, brother Mahmoud. I am happy to have by my side my commentator or my chronicle, Mr. Abdullah Wad. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jordan Seydou. I'd like also to greet dear brothers and Jordan Puy and Jordan Sow Musa. It is really a pleasure to be here with you all guys, sharing this very emission, talking about Serigne Touba, his life, and also important things he has done. So I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy also to do it in Mouridiyyah, because it is a channel that is just like involved in showing what is happening about Serigne Touba.
It is a channel for Murid,
Yes.
and for Muslims.
Definitely,
MashaAllah.
definitely.
If you hear his voice, you undoubtedly, guess he's a great journalist. MashaAllah. We are so honored and proud to have you among us, MashaAllah, for the great job you're doing in BBC and here back in Touba with us on Mouridiyyah TV. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much again, brother, for your time. Mr. Musaso, it's your turn. Please introduce yourself to our viewers, since even if they don't know, they know you already. Yes. But go ahead.
Thank you very much. First of all, I wish long life and good health to our Caliph Muntaha Mbake and our Caliph of Baifal also, and all the Muslim communities. So it is a great honor to be faced to my dean, Mr. Pui, and the journalist, Mr. Abdullah Wad, the president, and my president, Mr. C. This is really great because, as Mr. Pui emphasized just now, that this safar, is significant because it is, how can I say, 100 years that Cheikh AhmadouBamba joined Paradise.
Centenary.
Yes, a centenary. That's the reason why it is a very significant, day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Pui. As I indicated earlier, we are here to talk about exile, but there should be a reason for anything, right? So, what were the reason for Cheikh AhmadouBamba's exile?
The reason, you can see them in two phases, like what we call the worldly reason or the historical reasons, and also the esoteric reason from between him and his Lord to go and accomplish his mission. So if you're talking about the historical reason, at a time where Cheikh AhmadouBamba has gained through his education, through Himma, that he has gained popularity, that he has trained his followers to such an extent that he's being talked about everywhere. People are flocking to him because they needed that spiritual food. They needed that spiritual light they were looking from Cheikh AhmadouBamba. And people, when they saw that people are flocking there, and there was some, at a time when people were seeing that, they were concerned that he was preparing something against the colonial power, something like they were preparing jihad, like a jihad with weapons. But he was not concerned about that. But what they made the colonizers believe is that this man is preparing something coming against you. And any ways that they could jeopardize the work of Cheikh AhmadouBamba, they would go ahead and try to do that. And then from there, when they were concerned about that, and there were some reports from people around who were jealous from the fame, because we're having great scholars who were in many other ways, who were masters of the Quran, who left everything and came to him. People were wondering what is attracting people to this person, to this man, who is just here, just teaching them the Quran, zikr, and tarbiyah. They go to a level that everyone is flocking to him, and that was concerning. That was, I can say, the historical ways, the historical reasons why they thought that he was preparing a jihad. So we have to go and check what this guy is doing. But there was nothing like that. But with persistence, and people who were jealous about that fame would go and tell the colonial powers that he's preparing something. Even if when they sent letters to him, they would divert it to see that, oh, this man, he doesn't care about us, he doesn't respect us. So we need to do something about him. So that's what I would call the historical reasons. The other reason exotic reason is when he was doing his i'tikaf during that Ramadan, when he had the Pacte of exile, when the Prophet appeared to him. It was not a dream, it was not anything, it was he came and appeared to him, and he asked him that he wanted to be among those who are with him, meaning the people of Pacte, the company of the Prophet. But the Prophet told him to be among these people, you have to have fought, wars and shed blood to be part of to be part of this crew. So he said, you are at 3 months to be 40, because you can't be the pole of your period without being 40. So I could pass that and make you the khutb. He said, my vision is higher than that. So he said, if you want to accomplish that mission, you have to go through a lot of hardships. And those hardships will be very, very, very painful. And he said, and then I have so much love for you that I don't want you to be going through certain things where you will give up. And that would be a shame for me, as you are the one who love me with no boundaries, limitless love from you. So he said that it doesn't matter what the hardships are, if my life can support, if I can support it without dying, my body can support that, my heart, my dedication can go through that. So that's why he said, now you have to get out of Touba, because you won't experience hardships in
any trial,
as
long as you are in Touba.
That's why after that Ramadan he left Touba.
Thank you very much. So we will come back to you to go deeper in the process of the exile. If we listen to what Mr. Puy just said, if you consider, it means that the trials didn't come as a surprise to Cheikh AhmadouBamba. It was not a surprise. And people, they have different reaction when they have trials, or they have good news or bad news that happen to them. How did Cheikh AhmadouBamba view this exile in relationship to his spiritual mission?
Thank you very much for Mr. Puy. It's really clear, and I do really appreciate this. So Cheikh AhmadouBamba said this, how can I say, as a destiny, but a good destiny from God. As Musa said, if he didn't go to exile, we all will go to hell, And as he said just now, when the Prophet ﷺ appears to him in his, how can I say, in his spiritual reserve, and he told him that I want to become among those who are in Badr. He told him that this action has passed, you have just to shed blood. And he said, if ever my soul or my heart can stand this, I can do it. And the most mysterious things, or the most important, is how come a person go with his enemies to exile and celebrate these days. Because he said, when these days come, things Allah in my favor. I want to share, together to things Allah the Almighty, because this day is very important, because it has never seen. But the most mysterious is also the French colonizers. They thought that Cheikh AhmadouBamba was a prisoner over there, when he wrote, Asiru ma'al abrari, hina asiru, wa zanna al-ida ani unak asiru. I worked in truth when my persecutors thought that I was there a prisoner. And he was not there a prisoner. But it is the contrary. The French colonizers were the prisoners. That's like a lion and a sheep. How can I say? You see, that was so mysterious. Another thing is, he was not alone. He was also with Badr, those who was in the company of the Prophet during that battle, and the Holy Quran, because he said, Rafihi kitabullahi ma'al Mustafa nabi washabu fil barrihina aduru. So this is very important.
Thank you very, very much. Before we tackle the very questions of the Jewel's passage. I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Wad for the summary of what we just said.
Yes, thank you very much. I think that during Puy and Musa were very clear and exhaustive while answering to that question about the reasons, that explain the fact that Cheikh AhmadouBamba was just like brought out. And if we grasp the answer of during Puy, we can understand that it is divided into two parties. There are some esoteric reasons, and there are also some appearance, let's say that, reasons. But if we just like go deeply in what Jorin Puy has said about the fact that some of the people thought that Cheikh AhmadouBamba were preparing for a jihad, and he was answering to those people saying that effectively, exactly, I'm doing jihad, but I don't do it the way you think. I don't do jihad using this weapons. Like weapons or doing something like that, but my jihad is a jihad that I'm doing using the science, the important sciences, and also preparing people to just like have piety. And it is the jihad that Cheikh AhmadouBamba was doing, and the past the colonizers, they didn't want that jihad just like to arrive. They didn't want Cheikh AhmadouBamba to jihad using weapons, but they didn't also want Cheikh AhmadouBamba to succeed.
They wanted no sort of
jihad from Cheikh AhmadouBamba.
No violence or violence. They didn't want.
They didn't want, because they knew that Cheikh AhmadouBamba had that possibility to just like bring the change he wanted, and he just like succeeded. So the other thing I would like to emphasize is the fact that the Pacte of the exile. It shows that Cheikh AhmadouBamba, the himma he was calling people, he was the first one to just like go with that himma, because when the prophet just like proposed him to be the Qutb, at that time
he was so ambitious.
Yes, he was so ambitious. And Qutb Zaman, we know it is something.
It's a high rank.
Yes, but he didn't just like stop there. He said, my vision is higher than that, and it shows also that Cheikh AhmadouBamba is just like a great.
Sorry, I'm going to cut it short.
Yes,
I think it is a very important, a great lesson for Murid.
Of course,
to be ambitious.
Of course,
just don't limit yourself to what you can get right now, but be more ambitious. Go beyond.
Be more ambitious, and also have determination. Because Cheikh AhmadouBamba succeeded to be among the man of Badr, because he wrote it several times, saying that
even he didn't live their time.
Yes, even he didn't even say that. He didn't even say that. It is people who are just like witness about that fact. But God witnessed that he is one of the people of Badr, and it shows that he is ambitious, but also he has done things that help just like him to succeed his mission.
MashaAllah.
And all of that shows that the reasons of the exile, when we analyze it, we can see that Cheikh AhmadouBamba was one of the greatest people. Let's say the greatest one who just like passed away, just like in our.
He was the greatest. He is the greatest, and forever he'll be the greatest. MashaAllah. Upon his arrival in Jewel, how did Cheikh AhmadouBamba react? He was sent to a new place where he didn't have his family with him, didn't have his maybe followers with him. He was with the colonizers. Upon his arrival in Jewel, what was his initial reactions?
I think he knew that it was not going to be an easy, task for him, and it is that place where they sent the army, I can say the army garrison or the army division, to go and get him, and there, I think he kept calm and recited a lot of the Quran and read a lot of the Quran while there, but he didn't panic, but he knew that Ahlul Badr was with him, but was protecting him. That's why he didn't have any fear
or feeling of loneliness.
Or feeling of loneliness, even though he was there by himself. but among him was the company of the Prophet, who are the greatest army. Even though you are sending the French colonial army with so many weapons to just go and pick up one man, who will not be, who could not even resist, who didn't even resist you. But he knew that the most important thing is to leave yourself in the hands of Allah.
MashaAllah.
So that's the most important thing he did. That's why he did well. I think we can say that there started the victory.
There started the victory.
They started victory.
They started victory.
Yeah.
But he didn't get it easily.
Yes.
It was not a piece of cake.
Yes.
He encountered, he faced so many painful treatments.
Painful treatments, yeah.
Trials.
Trials and tribulations.
Yeah. Trial in the first place.
Yeah.
Very, when we think about it, we will say those people, they were unhuman, the way they treated Cheikh AhmadouBamba. How about the stage of Koki? Can you tell us about the challenges he faced? Because those challenges were not just those he got from the authorities, but the daily life. What were the challenges he faced during his time in Koki?
Well, thank you very much, really. I do really appreciate the faith of Mr. Pui. And as you said, Cheikh AhmadouBamba is not a human.
Yes.
As he said, how can a whole army can come and pick up or take one person that he weighs were not 100 kilogram? How comes? And he was not feared. He say, Ya jumlatan khat sallasu bi dalalihim. And he said, Man dhanna ghayra al-qadir al-Mustafa fa innu aqdimuhu bi Mustafa. So when he came in Koki after the prayer of the morning, it was after the prayer of the morning. When he left
the morning prayer.
The morning prayer. The morning prayer. When he left jail. So from that moment on, he began composing his poem, including the name of the companion of the battle, like Asma al-Badrin. He started
where he named it one by one.
Yes, his famous Hasidah and very mysterious Hasidah. So he said himself, after spending the day in Koki, I studied the composition of a poem that earned me a great reward. This poem had earned him a great reward. It was at the end of Sundays. Sri Musaka said,
in Jazal Shakur?
Yes, in Jazal Shakur, he said, they left Koki on the night of Monday at the appearance of the moon. At the time, it was the appearance of the moon. They left, as a light rain fell, light rain fell. So as for the Sheikh, he said, that night I had, ridden, a mare so fast to the horse of the guard. When he was going there, he was, faster than the guard. He was faster. We went to a great length to join him. So sometimes one of the guards would say to me, would ask to Cheikh AhmadouBamba, let's walk slow. Let's walk slowly. Don't get tired. Because Cheikh AhmadouBamba were faster than them. And they get army, they get horses, something like this. But, how do a man dispatched by their leaders to carry out a mission allow themselves to walk slowly? That is so mysterious. And he told them, and they keep quiet. I told the guard, keep quiet. Look that courage. And arriving in Lugo after Koki, that was also mysterious, that we are going to look forward, inshallah.
Anything to add about the challenges he faced in Koki?
Yeah. So also in Jazal Shakur, he was saying about that when he left. He arrived at Koki. He said, that day I recited the Quran and prayed on the one whose prayer on him is the greatest of prophets. This is the Prophet. I spent the day in a locality called Koki with Sheikh Mukhtar Ndumbe, who in his time was the master of any member of the community of our Lord Muhammad, the chosen one par excellence in this part of the land of God, the Most High, called Kajor, on him, the Prophet, on his family, on his companions, the true salvation of one who preserves. And then he added by saying, I felt that day the need to versify, as Musa said, the people of Badr, on them the approval of the one who, thanks to them, preserved me from any traitor. So as we talk about that that stage where he was at Cheikh Mukhtar Ndumbe, Mukhtar had also a lot of affection for the Sheikh. So they probably wanted him to go seek help and not go for the exile. But for him,
that was a pact.
That was not part of that. He declared all of anyone who tried to do any intervention. He said no, because he already signed the pact, and he has to go.
And that made him leave Touba.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, because how could he go? Because he lives in an area, there are no sea, no boat, nothing, but he has to go on the seas. So who had the boats? Who had the means to take someone to very far lands? That was the colonizers. So those one were just means for Allah to just use those means to take him to exile for his mission. For
sure.
So at the stage he said that.
By the way, for people who are watching and who are interested in the book Jazaw Shakur, the English version will be available very soon. Let's say before the Magal. And we'll share contact numbers so for you to purchase the book, which is going to be out very soon, and we will hopefully have on the show and have some copies. So the Jazaw will help you understand the exile, all the stages of the exile, all the way from Mbacké Bari to Gabon, and soon we will have the books in English available on Al Mouridiyyah. And we share the contact numbers for you to purchase them. I'm sure you have something to say, but time is flying, and Mr. Wad has to summarize the part of the Mbacké Bari and Louga before we move on to the spiritual evolution.
Thank you very much, Jordan Seydou. I think that was clear. What is most important here is that, even for Mr. Pouy and also for Musa, they both used just like a reference, which is Jazaw Shakur. And it is very important to emphasize that it is something that the Sheikh himself has written. And the Sheikh, we know that he is so organized, he just like listed over there everything that happened, and it is just like an authentic source. That is the reason why it is very important that to get the English version. So what we can also analyze there is that it is the Sheikh who was in a mission, but those people, the colonial authorities, they didn't even know what they were doing. Remember, Gharurul Wara Gharran Nasara Bikaidihim. They were just like
the tools.
Yes, they were the tools. They were used by the Sheikh, by God, in order to make the Sheikh being the servant. Because when we see how the events are happening, we know that it is just like a kind of scenario that God has
written
and in favor of the Sheikh. And if you see the way that the Sheikh were just like communicating with them, asking himself, how can they just like go so slowly while they are in a mission? It is just like, it's funny.
Sometimes it was like Harry.
And it shows that he was the one who was in a mission, and it shows that also he was just like the one who knew what just like had to happen. Because if that was not the case, maybe he would just like be afraid or just like feel something else, but he did not. The other thing is that, when the colonial authorities just like thought that while just like bringing the army and all those things, the Sheikh is going just like to feel maybe something, but the Sheikh, it is just like that those things that they were doing, just like
they wanted to intimidate him.
Yes, but unfortunately, it was not the case. We had to see the contrary, exactly the contrary. The Sheikh was just like involved, like if those people were just like there to help him. And it shows also the courage of the Sheikh it shows also that Cheikh AhmadouBamba was not someone that they had just, we can't compare the Cheikh and them in terms of just like, I mean, the materials they had. The Cheikh was unique, was single. Them, they were in a group. They were also doing things, I mean, just like doing the mission that were just like sent to them or something like that. But the Sheikh was obeying to his to God, and God is the only one who is doing. Yes.
Had they known all these, I'm sure they wouldn't have continued.
No, they won't.
They wouldn't have continued.
That's why they have regret it.
Sure.
Sure.
It was, of course, a time of trial, time of hardship, time of challenges. But in the meantime, it was a time of spiritual evolution for Cheikh AhmadouBamba.
Yeah.
How did he maintain his spiritual evolution during the time of exile?
So this spiritual evolution is part of what they call the jihadun nafs, because you have to shape your soul in a way that it will attain a very high level of spirituality and a very high level of understanding of the presence of God. So if you want to attain the presence of God, you have to go through that, to that cleaning.
The gifts of God.
Yeah. So he started it by the tarbiyah, tarbiyah, and then making them his followers reach a very high level where even when they would leave him, they would think that they would even meet the Prophet and the angels, because they were so into that spiritual education. So his spiritual education is starting mostly from praising the Prophet, from doing some salah on the Prophet, going from one level to the next level, to another level, to such an extent that he was a light, he was a pole, he was the sun, the moon of all the people of God who knew esoterically, who even knew something was happening here in a place in the West, where even the highest level of spiritual masters would see this light emanating. So if you see, he would divide the year in two, praising the Prophet, and also
Salatu Sitta.
And doing, as you see, I said it into Maibu. So that allowed him to also, what's the most amazing for me is while he is in the hands of those people, writing so much. For me, this is, for my understanding, it's the most miraculous thing that he did. How can you be writing while in the hands of your enemies? Writing so much with so much perfection in the writing, in the grammar, in the Arabic language, a language that is not your native language, that you're writing to an extent that even the Arabs would learn from, your poetry, would even have difficulty understanding certain terms that you are using. I think for me, this is the most miraculous, the most awesome thing about Cheikh AhmadouBamba.
Thank you very much. I'm sure if you had time, I would ask you to talk about the resources. He was surrounded by, let's say, so-called, enemies.
Yeah.
They surely are. And writing so much.
Yeah.
It means he would get resources where, how.
Yeah,
we would talk about it if we had time. Maybe during my next show, I'm going to make sure to remember and ask to my guest. Not only did he maintain his spiritual evolution, but he also maintained his connection and communication with his followers back to Senegal, back to Dakar, to Touba. How did he do that? How could Cheikh AhmadouBamba maintain connection and communication with his followers?
So a very important question. So we are just to notice that before he left Touba to join the exile, he has, trained the disciple in the way of Tarbiyah, as Mr. Pui emphasized just now. He did Lashka and Jihad Nas to all of them, if ever he left them, if ever he was away, far from them, they won't be, you know, in a bad path. You see, and this tarbiyah and was led by some sheikh like Sheikh Al-Mukhtar Mam Cherno, that he gave Sheikh Mustafa Mbake, Sëñ Fallu Mbake, and the others to take care of their education. You see, there are also others who put Daaras around villages that he has created. Like Sëñ Murlo Dagana, we heard about that story, say that he joined him over there when he was to exile. When he came, he asked the colonizers, "Do you know somebody, a sheikh here?" They said, "We lost to serve him over there like an island. There was trees like dust, nothing." And he take his, how can I say, like a knife, and cutting, you know. And by reciting Lam Yadul Misl Mustafa Muhammadi, Sirwajan Rafil Baraya Samadi, and reaching the verses, Huwa Nabiyu wa Rasulu wal Khalil wal Habibu wal Imam wa Habibu, and Saint Touba, you know, get out and complete the verse, say what dalil. And what they noticed is the face of Saint Touba was full of hair. We could only see his eyes and his teeth. He said, "Where are the population? Where are my sons? Where are the family?" He said, "They are all fine." And Sheikh Mullah said, "Oh, I'm sorry, but this is very hard." He said, "But if I were not here, you want to be to hell." He said, "You know, take your luggage and go back, turn back to the country, and tell them that I'm well, I'm good. Inshallah, I will be back, inshallah."
Inshallah, I'll be back. And he was back with the triumphant return and with the victory that we are still celebrating. The debate is so much exciting that we haven't gone through half of the question, and we only have 10 minutes left, so we're running out of time. I will give the floor to Mr. President Abdoulaye Wade to summarize before we move on to the last question and the final message.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you one more time. I think it is something also that shows again one more time, I mean, how Serigne Touba were great, you know, because going through that exile and then completing Iman, Islam and Ihsan that way, I mean, with the Jihad al-Nafs, it shows that he was not just like calling people to do something he was not ready himself to do, because he has written just like many books that are talking about Jihad al-Nafs, just like helping people to know how to just like master the nafs, how to just like educate the nafs and something like that. So
that
it
control.
Yes, that is very important.
So much difficult.
Yes.
Something he talked about, I think, in Shifai.
In Shifai. Yes, yes. He talked about it in many qasaids. But I mean, what happened? I mean, with the way he maintained the connection with the Taliban, I mean, it shows also something. I mean, the determination of the disciples. Because, you know, let's just take the example of Cheikh Mourlamin Diop Dagana. You know, Cheikh Musaka, somewhere when he was describing that fact, I mean, that travel he made, he said he was just like, people tend to say Qadamata, I mean, he's dead, because he just like were looking for the Sheikh, just like facing many trials and something like that. But he was enduring only because he thought that, or he knew that, he was sure that the Sheikh that he was just like looking for, he's going to find him. And when he found him, that nice history that just like during Musa just like told right while ago, shows that, I mean, that one that were looking for the Sheikh had just like many love for the Sheikh, because he was just like, when he came and didn't know where to find the Sheikh, the strategy he used is to take the Khasaid and then to just like start reciting Lam Yabdu, still finding the Sheikh. And it shows that it is Cheikh Mourlamin Diop Dagana is one example, but all the disciples, just like all the people,
one
yes,
among many.
Yes, it is he's one among many. And it shows that Serigne Touba, before going also, just like were sure that the people he led just like behind were ready to undergo that thing. I mean, to undergo the fact that he's going to be far, but they are going to stay and to keep on the work, because when he came, after I think we're going to have the time to talk about it, when he came, what we show is that it is the Magal which is going to happen. I mean, showing that after the trials are going to be over, and we're going just like Wa'muri ila al-jinani aidu.
MashaAllah. I think we have 5 minutes left, right?
Yeah.
We don't have enough time to talk about any other, to go through any other question. But I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Pui for your final message. You are going back to the US, and we are celebrating the Magal to next week, this month.
This month.
And your message to, because I always ask people when they come here for the show about the Magal, I always ask the message to people who come and celebrate it.
Yes. Before that, I would like to say just a little bit about the Jihadun Nafs. I was reading Turkish, Sufi master called Yunus Emre. He said that Jihadun Nafs, like when you're fighting the Nafs, it's as if when you fight in an army, you win and that's it. But the Nafs, you beat him, it gets stronger and comes back attack. And you have, it's like a 7-headed snake, and you cut all 7 heads. Each one grow other 7 heads, and you have to fight it again. So that's how difficult, Jihadun Nafs is. And that's what Cheikh AhmadouBamba did, all this. And for those who are coming to celebrate, get to know that when you're coming to celebrate, it's a day of remembering. It's a day of engaging in giving thanks to Allah, because Cheikh AhmadouBamba said to give thanks because He's only giving thanks and praise to Allah is not enough. So anyone who shares the same happiness that he triumphed when this day comes, please celebrate, if you can, from a chicken
that shows his generosity.
So celebrate with him. So that's why we are celebrating this, and this is also something for us to be proud of, to be proud Muslims anywhere we are. Also to be proud Murids, to be proud, Africans too, because he's first of all he's African, so he's one who made us proud to have no complex whatsoever before a European or before an Arab. So he has all the tools necessary for us to be who we are and celebrate that legacy he left us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pui, and I wish you a good trip back to the United States.
Thank
and
you.
we look forward to having you again here when you're back in Senegal, inshallah, very soon. We owe you the whole process. We will be here again in the next shows to talk about the next stage of the exile and the final state of the exile, which is Gabon. So our next episode will be about the stage of Saint-Louis and Dakar, and the last episode is going to be the final one. It's going to be on exile in Gabon, and we will have other people to come in and share their experience and their insightful knowledge with us about Cheikh AhmadouBamba and his life. Your final message, anything you want to say, share to our viewers? You will be back next time because you started today to be the commentator. Next show you're going to be here with me, and the last show inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you. Just maybe wishing everybody good Magal. The Sheikh was asking in Matlabul Fawzaini, asking God to make this holy city to be just like the Touba. Wajal ilahi maskani Touba abad mislasmiha bijahi khairi man abad. So I would like us also to come and to just like to benefit from that Touba, because allazina amanu wa amilus salihati Touba lahum. So we believe in God. We're trying to do good deeds. Let's come and have Touba. Good Magal to
I'm sure you like it, so he'll be back. Thank you very much, Mr.
So my last word is to stretch my hand to call everybody to come and join us Touba. One way is Touba, one direction Touba, one even Magal Touba. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Musa. So, Mr. Pui, my president, Mr. Abdoulaye Wade. As I said, we'll be back to talk about the exile and to tackle the Saint-Louis and Dakar stage and the Gabon stage. طويلنا عمرنا صحح لنا بدنا وهب لنا رشد والتوفيق يا الله وأولنا يا ربنا حسن الختام حين الممات وهدى يوم الحيام. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant the longest and healthiest life to our Khalif Cheikh Muntaha Mbacké. May the sun of our love for Cheikh AhmadouBamba never set. Jërëjëf Serigne Touba.
أول ما ابتدأ به الخديم تعلق بمن له التقديم وأظهر الخدمة عام جيش وقلبه أجملها من عطش منطلقا في جيش من غيره رب الورى قديمه في خير وأدخل الإله في قلوب من
وجاءت كل بحمد وسكون
dund leen màggal Touba atum 2024 ci Mouridiyyah ak ci sunuy réseaux sociaux maanaam mbaalu jokko yi ngir bañ a wuute dara ci màggal gi wéy leen di seetaan Mouridiyyah ci TNT Canal 13 Canal Plus 226 ak Eutelsat W16A Mouridiyyah TV moo leen di ñaanal màggalu jàmm.
yéen ñii di ñu seetaan jaaree ko ci YouTube su ngeen bëggee jot suñuy publication mën ngeen abonné Mouridiyyah TV te bu leen fàtte laal cloche bi.